For the time step, Madeline stomp, hop, steps, flap, step, stomp, hop, step, flap, step, stomp, hop, step, flap, step, stomp. She uses flexion and extension of the hip, flexion and extension of the knee. Her arms start extended down with radial rotation and then perform flexion at the elbow on the stomp hop, then perform extension at the elbow on the flap step. For flexion of the hip, she uses her psoas major, iliacus, rectus femoris, and sartorius. For extension of the hip, her gluteus maximus, biceps femoris, semitendinosus, and semimembranosus. Flexion of the knee, sartorius, biceps femoris, semitendinosus, semimembranosus, gracilis, pectineus, popliteus, and gastrocnemius. For extension of the knee, the rectus femoris, vastus lateralis, vastus medius, and vastus intermedius. For the lower ranges of extension of the hip, she uses her adductor longus and adductor brevis. For wings, Madeline bounces and wings, bounce, wing, bounce, wing, wing, wing. She uses abduction and adduction of her hips and inversion and eversion of her feet. Her arms start in an extended abduction and move into horizontal abduction, then circumduct. For abduction, she uses her psoas major and iliacus, sartorius, gluteus medius, minimus, and tensor fasciae latae. For adduction, she uses her adductor longus and brevis. Inversion of the feet, the tibialis anterior, extensor hallucis longus, and tibialis posterior. For eversion, fibularis tertiarius, fibularis longus, fibularis brevis, extensor digitorum longus, and peroneus tertiarius. Inversion and eversion at the ankle also occurs in bon paches. Madeline scuffs, hop, steps, heel, ball, change, heel, ball, change. For the scuff hop, Madeline uses flexion, extension, abduction, and adduction. For the heel dig, she uses internal, external rotation, and dorsiflexion. For internal rotation, Madeline uses her gluteus medius, gluteus minimus, and tensor fasciae lata. For her external rotation, she uses her sartorius, glute max, biceps femoris, piriformis, obturator internus, gemellus superior, gemellus inferior, and quadratus femoris. For dorsiflexion, she uses her tibialis anterior, external hallucis longus, external digitorum longus, and fibularis tertiarius. For a paradiddle, Madeline heel, brush, toe, heel, heel, brush, toe, heel, brush, toe. For this move, Madeline uses flexion at the hip, flexion at the knee, dorsiflexion, and extension of the toes. For extension of the toes, she uses her extensor digitorum and hallucis. Madeline uses plantar flexion, flexion at the hip, and flexion of the knee. In rotation, she uses her erector spinae. Her arms flex at the elbow and also circumduct at the elbow. For plantar flexion, Madeline uses her fibularis longus and brevis, soleus, gastrocnemius, plantaris, and tibialis posterior.